Hello, YouTube friends, and welcome back to my channel. Or welcome if this is your first time joining me. I'm Beth, and this is my YouTube channel, Red Cross Stitcher. You can also find me on Instagram as Red Cross Stitcher as well. It's a pleasure to get to spend some time with you all today. I know during this time of holiday season, things can be chaotic or hectic, but I appreciate you taking time to spend with me. My channel is primarily about cross stitch with some quilting, sewing, crocheting, knitting, pretty much anything with that involves a needle and thread. You'll probably see at some point here on my channel. So again, thank you for spending time with me. If you like what you see, I would like for you to subscribe to my channel, like my video and share it. Do all the things that we do in the Flosstube world. I appreciate that so much. Today is Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. So go ahead, pull up a chair here in my studio, and let's spend a little bit of time chatting and just sharing with each other. So I have, first of all, want to say my last floss tube, I don't know what happened to my mind. I had intended to do some shout outs. I think I was going to show some more haul. I didn't do, I don't even know, a good half of what I thought I was going to do. After the video, I debated on whether I loaded it or not, but I ended up loading it. But I do apologize that I didn't do my shout outs and do some of the other things. So I know getting behind a camera, even with notes, because my husband Alan's like, "Did you have notes with you?" And I said, "Yeah, I did, but I didn't read the notes." So I am going to look down today and try to do my best to look and read what I've written so that way I can stay on track and do what I intend to do. But thank you for joining me again. So I, let's see, I've done the two kind of secretive projects I told you last time that I was wanting to work on. I do not believe my boys watch my YouTube channel, so I'll show you what I've stitched. But I started and finished three things during the last time that I've seen you. And then I worked just on two, I think two other projects, not much. I did do a couple of fully finished items, and I'll show you that, as well as some of my purchases that Alan so kindly contributed to, and a little bit of knitting and crocheting, some sewing over here, and some quilting as well. So I'll show you a little bit of everything. But let's go ahead and just dive right in. I'll show you. I'll start with my fully finished items. I don't have the chart on a few of these because I've already passed those charts along to someone else. So the first thing I'll show you is Plum Street Samplers. This chart is the Milk and Cream Company. And again, I don't have the chart. I've already passed it on. What I think I will add to this in the finishing is a buffalo plaid ribbon. I finished it in just a tobacco basket. I want to add the buffalo ribbon. That way I can hang it if I wanted to. This is using the Lori Holt conversion for floss, and I used the same fabric she did. I believe this is 25 count farmhouse, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you that. This is such a cute chart. It's very stunning. So I finished this one, and I know I reference Lori Holt quite a bit. You know, I'll tell you, she is a phenomenal lady, very talented lady. Whatever, if she is stitching it and I have it and I'm going to stitch it and she's changed her colors 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to change to what Lori has done. She's just got such an eye for her color, her designs. So I totally enjoy that. But I know I've got a few in here that I say that I am using her conversion for, and that's why I do value what she does and changes. The next thing, let's see, that I did is a series, and I've shown you some of the other ones that I've done. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Cottages of the Month. This is the December. I used the called for DMC. All of these I used the called for DMC floss on 28 count lamb's wool linen. So they're all stitched using that. And I just change them out in the frame that I have for the appropriate month. And so that is the December. And I'm glad in a way that these are done. I stitched ahead, usually 1 month ahead to get them done. And so it was every month I knew I had one that I had to do. So I am glad that I don't have that pressure of like, oh, I've got to get January's done. Not that I'm not going to start another series, but that is finished. So I'm glad. I'm glad to have that written off. The other thing that I did, and I'm looking down, is this is a new start and a fully finish from my last Flosstube, which was 3 weeks ago, roughly 3 weeks ago, and handmade by Sarah and her sister Laura, which is Stitched to Pieces. They did a SAL, which is a stitch along, and it was a free chart from Hands On Design, Kathy, and the chart is still free. You can go to her blog or website to get that. I already had this kitted up, ready to go. So when I saw it on Instagram that they were going to host a stitch along, I thought, well, gosh, I'm going to join right on in. And so glad that I did. So mine is stitched on an 18 count blue even weave, called for colors. The only change that I made was to the word Mary. Instead of using the brown that was called for, and they're all DMC, I ended up doing one of the pinky reds that I had, and I turned it into an ornament. So looky there. And I apologize if I'm reaching funny. I've got a new microphone. I'm hoping that it works, and I'm kind of reaching over top of it instead of clipping it on my shirt. So finish that. I've already got it displayed on my tree. So thank you, Sarah and Laura, for including me in the stitch along. That was fun. Yeah, that was truly fun. And I may have done a stitch along before, but it's probably just been with either the Fat Quarter Shop or something of that nature. So to be able to do it along with some fellow stitchers, I had a good time. I appreciated that. Okay. Those are, no, I have one more. And I do not have the chart on this one either. Let me get it. Oh, oh, I dropped it, y'all. Hold on, I'll pick it up. This is Plum Street Samplers, Kringle and Woolard, and I turned it into a pillow. Now, what I did on this one is I personalized it with mine and my husband's initials. And I did use polyfill for this. The only other thing I may end up doing is putting a ruche ribbon around the top. I may do that, but I haven't decided. But he is adorable. So I did that. Those are my fully finishes. Well, I'm going to look down and make sure. Yes. So the other two things that I told you that I was working on were gifts. again, for my children, my two boys. I wanted to stitch them something with their initial and their birth date on. And I did it out of Blackbird Designs. Sweet Land of Liberty. Let me pull my working copy out. So it's out of this book, Sweet Land of Liberty. Both of these charts I've already stitched twice. This one I stitched earlier in the year for my husband, Alan. That's American Eagle. And I stitched this one for our youngest, Taylor. And then this one is In Full Glory. And I stitched it in January for the February Barefoot Needle Art Retreat. I stitched that for my small exchange. For the In Full Glory, I used the called for floss. In American Eagle, I did the called for DMC. And I usually make working copies when I stitch that. So, American Eagle. I am stitching this, I believe it is a piece of Confederate gray, 36 count Confederate gray. And I put his initials and his birth year. I finished that. We are celebrating Christmas with our children. They're going to do it on Wednesday, the Wednesday after Christmas, because Taylor and Eileen are traveling for Christmas to her mother's house. So we'll see them after Christmas. So that gives me a few more days to get them. And I'll show you in my purchases section what I'm actually going to frame it in. But this one is In Full Glory. This was stitched on, it's either 36 count or 32 count. I can't remember. I did use one strand on both of these over two. But this is Sandy Toes by Barefoot Needle Art fabric. Let's stitch that. So those were my fully finished and finished items. And okay, what have I been working on? So I haven't stitched near as much as I typically do. I had to give my joints a break, let them recover a little bit. I was having some issues. So I didn't do near as much as I'd wanted to, but at least I got what my gifts were done. So I did do that. But a couple of floss tubes ago, I told you that I wanted to do a sow myself for Teresa Kogut, Dwelling Place. And I know there's a lot of people already stitching the dwelling place. And I didn't do a hashtag, but I said if you all wanted to join me, to join along, just tag me on Instagram in your progress at Red Cross Stitcher. So I would love to have you join. Kim, my friend, we both got this right before the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat in October. She really wanted to do it. I told her, if you want to do it, I'll do it with you. I'd be more than happy to do it. So this is Dwelling Place by Teresa Kogut. And it's beautiful. It is a very pretty chart. Beautiful colors. Okay. I am doing mine on 36 count Confederate gray in the called for colors. Very pretty Teresa Kogut colors. And I have a small start. I started this around Thanksgiving. And this is one I want to get back to putting some stitches in. And there's my start. I typically start in the upper right hand corner. So that is where I am. And I just have my fabric folded because this piece is, let's see, what does this finish? It's a pretty large one as well. Maybe. It finishes at 14 by 15 and a quarter on 40 count. So it's 284 by 318. So that's a good size chart. Go ahead and put this in here. And y'all, listen, this is my third time. Uh, third time's a charm, right? Videoing this. I videoed yesterday and my microphone was popping quite a bit. So I'm like, oh, this can't happen. So then I videoed again this morning or earlier today, and still I'm using the new microphone, but it was just one of those where after I started playing it back, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. So third time's a charm. I'm hope we're loading this regardless, so I'm hoping it's good, that it turns out well. My only other cross stitch piece that I worked on is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. And this is one that I am doing the conversion from Lori Holt as well. And I am doing it on 28 count winter white Seraphim fabrics. And I'm using Lori Holt's floss conversion. And I think she only changed 3 out. They're all called for except one she changed for to a DMC. The rest are over dyed floss. And here is the chart. Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. And this one is I love stitching on this one. The fabric, all of it. Now I am making a change. So Lori talks about in her Flosstube, she's creating a heritage wall, which is what I want to do. And I've already stitched a few pieces for my mom and dad, for my husband's parents. And now this one I'm stitching in honor of my paternal grandmother, Pearl. One of my sewing machines, my Bernina, is named after her. But I'm going to make a change. So I'm going to keep the Oh Joyous Day, put her name, her birth date, but I've got everything from the this band of alphabet done, and most of this is done in this center band. I'm not going to do those kind of floating alphabet though. I think that is going to be distracting for what I want. So I am going to put her name and maybe do a few of the little doodads that they have. But that is my progress. That is just beautiful. So I'm going to put the Oh Joyous Day, her name, the birth year, and I think I will just do a few of these, those little kind of, I call them doodads. I don't know what else they're called, but I think I will do that and fill in some of the kind of negative space around the house and the bird, and do that. And then that's going to be for my paternal grandmother. So I'm excited. My paternal grandmother, Pearl, she was a crocheter, crafter, but man, she could crochet, and she loved to donate. A lot of her pieces were actually have been donated to, I think her hat she would donate, and crochet toboggans, and it just such a talented lady. So I'm excited to be able to honor her with a piece that I'm doing in her memory. So that's all the cross stitch that I've done and worked on. So what I'll show you now is another SAL that I'm going to participate in. So Instagram is a wonderful thing, but it is also a huge enabler. So I'm on there just scrolling one evening this past week, and Sarah from Handmade by Sarah W. and Diane, who is Be a Blessing Stitcher, they were commenting on the Dasher and Dancer chart. And Sarah has already started it. And Diane was going to start it on Christmas Day. And they were talking, and I was like, you know what? I should have gotten that chart. And Sarah was like, go ahead and get it, join along with us. So I did. I bought the PDF, downloaded the chart. I'll show you. It's not in color, so you're not going to be able to see the entire front page. I did not print that, but I'll give you a sampling of what it looks like. It's stitched all in one color. It called for mulberry, gentle, let's see, gentle arts. And it's a pretty big piece. It's 17 3/4 by 8.5 on 40 count. So it's 355 by 168 stitches. So pretty big piece. And Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W, is stitching hers on Vintage Country Mocha. So we are going to be twinsies. I did pull the Vintage Country Mocha. I'm going to do mine on 40 count. And I had two that I had showed her. I said, hey, give me a consult here. What do you think? I had that one, and I had, I want to say it's R&R Light Bunny was the other one that I have, but I'm going to be like Sarah and do it on the Vintage Country Mocha. Now, I don't have a LNS close to me. It's an hour and a half away, and I do want to start mine on Christmas Day as well. I'm going to start mine with Diane that day. So I knew I wouldn't be able to get the mulberry of the Gentle Arts. So the DMC conversion is 221. I thought this is it. That's what I'm gonna go with. Then I thought, you know what? I wonder if stitching it in, because again, it's all one color, in blue, like a more of a cool blue, I may change. But I've got what, 2 days to decide if I'm going to stitch it in 221 or I'm going to change it out for a blue. So I'm not sure, but I'm excited about doing that and stitching along. Sarah's Stitchery, Sarah, who used to do the Flosstube with Jen, Stitchy Friends, she started her own Flosstube, Sarah's Stitchery. She's stitching it as well, but I don't know if she's already started. I can't remember if she started or not. But I believe Diane, Be a Blessing Stitcher, and myself, we're going to do it on Christmas. So I'm looking forward to that, doing that. I'm going to look down because I'm promising myself that I'm going to follow my notes. So I've talked to what I finished, what I started, fully finished or started and finished, and talk to you about what I was currently working on, what I'm going to start. I'll highlight quickly what I want to do for my plans for 2024. I am going to post a video that my intention, like I was going to come back in 2 weeks for the Flosstube. It didn't happen. Oh, I'm hoping to get back on that rotation. But I want to do just a quick video of the things that I am going to stitch in 2024. What I want to do is to stitch my kits. If you have been following me, I only have a handful of videos anyway, but when I purchase something, I want to go ahead and get it kitted up. Straightway, get my floss, get my fabric with it, even if it's just in a Ziploc bag and doesn't have a project bag, which all my pieces don't. but I want it kitted. So I want it ready to go if I want to work on it. And in my last video, I showed you how I store those in bins by type. So I've got my samplers together, my seasonal together, that sort of thing. Christmas, winter, and I can pull from that when I want to stitch on something new, or just like this Sal going on for the berries in bloom. I already had it kitted. It was ready to go. I just had to pull that bag out of the bin. Now, my bags aren't labeled, so on the outside, I can't necessarily tell what it is, and I'm okay with that. I enjoy it's almost like having Christmas every time you want to go through and open something up and you see it. So that doesn't bother me not having it labeled. I'm good with that. It's like, oh, wow, I forgot I had this, or look how pretty this is. But what I did back um, a month ago, I guess, I went through and looked at everything that I had kitted. If I truly didn't love it, wasn't in love with it, I set it to the side to be donated. In 2024, I want to stitch, and not just 2024 and beyond, but specifically to be intentional with my stitching. If I didn't love it, I didn't want I wanted it in the donate pile. I want to truly spend my time stitching what I love, what I want in 2024. So I'm not sure how many projects I'll choose, but I'm going to do a quick video and show you what I choose. And always subject to change, we know, but my goal is to stitch from stash or stitch my kits. And if I have to buy additional floss because I've ran out or I miscalculated, something like that, I am going to 2 retreats in 2024, and I'll purchase some things from while I'm at each retreat. But my goal is stitch my kits. That's my motto. Stitch my kits, stitch what I love, and be intentional about that. So look forward to that video. Okay, we're going to move on, and I'm going to talk about the tutorial that I'm going to be doing, as well as the purchases, and then get into the sewing and the quilting. But before I do that, I want to do some shout outs. So I already shouted out Handmade by Sarah W. Sweet lady. Go check her out. Be a Blessing Stitcher, Diane. Go check her out. But they're just wonderful floss tubes. Sarah's Stitchery. She just started her own floss tube. So go give her some love as well. And I'm going to look down at my notes because I had some people shout me out. And I just want to say thank you to those ladies. Leona, Gammy Stitcher, thank you so much. Daylene from So Grateful. I know I shouted her out before, but I wanted to give her some more love. She is just, she's a hoot, you all. You got to go check her out. Mona from Mona Did What? Linda from Richter Stitcher. Go check all of those out. Christy from Daisy K Primitives. Thank you, my sweet friend, for shouting me out as well. I appreciate that so very much. And a new one to go check out is Robin from Hot Mess Hobbies. Hot is Hott. But go check her out. She's got a variety of things she does as well. So go give all of these ladies some love. Look at their floss tubes, subscribe, and like their videos. So I appreciate that very much. Sharing the love, because I have been blessed by the support not only from you all who watch my floss tubes, but from fellow floss tubers supporting me and encouraging me, and just like including me in the sales. I appreciate that very much, so much. Okay, I'll get into the purchases segment. I've got some quilting, I've got some yarn, floss, cross stitch, and I think that's about it. But I either purchased from 123 Stitch, Fat Quarter Shop, and one piece I know I did get from Amazon. So I'll start to go through that. So from Fat Quarter Shop, I bought the Jolly Bar, which is only available, this cut is only available at Fat Quarter Shop. This is by Sherry and Chelsea, Emma, And on the Jolly Bars, if you've never bought them, they come with a pattern on the back. And this is a quilt for 60.5-inch square. And you will just have to add your background fabric to it. I also got 2 of the Flower Farm from Bunny Hill Designs. And the quilt on the back of that one, what does it say? It's 64.5 square. Very pretty. So I got 2 of those. Oh, let me show you this for the tutorial. Again, my intention is to have that up hopefully this week. But my after I load this one, the next tutorial, I talked about it before, I want to do a sew with me. So it will be longer than the hour because I don't edit my videos. And just have a sew time. And I'll show you what I think I'm going to do for that project. But the Flower Farm is what I ended up using. And it's just some soft pinks and reds and creams and like a taupey kind of gray color. So I use this for the tutorial. And I still have a few step outs to do, but that fabric is beautiful. So I use that and can't wait to release that video. And I hope you all like it. Again, just knowing I don't edit, so they are going to be stepped out. But when I do the next one, we'll probably do more like a sew with me because I enjoy that. I'm sitting here in my studio. I put somebody on my TV and it feels like I'm sewing or stitching with friends. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Okay. What's the next thing? I got Joyful Joyful by Stacy Itsu, a little charm, mini charm. These are 2.5-inch squares. And if these are great to have if you want to do a pieced project bag. They're awesome to have. You can also use the 5-inch squares and cut them in quarters and do that. This is what one of the frames that I am finishing. And when I videoed this earlier, I got a splinter. It stuck in my pants, and when I put my hand down, it got me. But this is an 8-inch frame. I'm going to put American Eagle. I'm going to frame that one. And again, I have a couple of days to finish that. And I'm going to check before, because like I said, that got me. And this one I'm going to do in full glory. I'm going to frame it in this frame. So I'll do that. I got the 2022 Sew Sampler Bliss Quilt Kit. It came with the triangles on a roll. And here's the fabric. It is fig tree fabric in the stitched line. Very pretty. Got that, as well as the backing set for it. So that will something I start. If I see the 505 spray, I like the basting spray 505. So I got that. I picked up a couple of the micron pins, the permanent pins. So I picked up 2 of those. Then I picked up from Fat Quarter Shop. They do a charity quilt every year that benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And it's free patterns. They just ask for a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I believe it goes to the Central Texas branch of that. But I purchased the 2023, this year's. I'll hold up the box. This isn't the picture, but it is the fabric. It uses Corey Yoder's Sunwash fabric, and it's a really pretty magnetic box closure. And what you get with the kit, I don't know if they've released. I know that she's already released what 2024's will be. I think that's using Sherry and Chelsea's fabric, but these are the patterns. There's a little bit of a picture of it. And it, like I said, it uses Corey Yoder's sun washed fabric. And that's the line. So this would be enough for your blocks and the background fabric. I also purchased the backing fabric. It's a pieced backing. And I believe it's this is how it's pieced. But those are the fabrics. So I got that. And if you order from Fat Quarter Shop, I believe I ordered from them on Cyber Monday, and you spent a certain dollar amount, you got the Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book for free. I already have this book, so this may end up being a future giveaway. But it does have, it's mainly quilt, but there is one cross stitch chart that mimics the look of the quilt. So that's the cross stitch. So very cute. So like I said, that may end up being a giveaway. I also got Aura Floss pack. I have never used Aura Floss before, so I'm excited about using it. It's the Spring Patchwork Seasons Aura Floss. And here are the colors. Very pretty pinks and reds, greens, black and a gray, or a charcoal. But I'm excited about using that. I know Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop says that she doesn't think that the Aurifloss knots like the DMC does. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Now, I use Aurifil thread, 50 weight thread, to piece with and to quilt with. So again, excited about trying that. Okay, what else? I got a basket full. Some are the fancy overdyed, and a big lot of the DMC. I did need a few to finish kitting up, and I have a few books, some from the Primitive Punch Needle magazine, and I bought a Teresa Kogut. Can't think of the name of the book. I don't have it with me. I showed it to you before. It's her patriotic book. And there were some things in there I wanted to stitch. So I got all the floss that I needed for that. And let's see. Okay, I'll show you some yarn before I show you the rest of the cross stitch. I bought a variety of this, is it Kaboo? I don't know how you say that. It's the Lion brand. It is a cotton yarn. I've got them in a multitude of colors. I'm thinking of doing a crochet granny square type afghan. So I have that. Then I bought, I think I told you all, maybe in my very first video, I have taken one knitting class, loved it. So I've been practicing. My ultimate goal is I want to be able to knit some socks. I can't wait to try to knit socks. And in the meantime, I've done a bunch of dishcloths just to practice my muscle memory and just to keep practicing those stitches. So I have bought some additional skeins of yarn to do. Most of this is cotton, to do some more of that. Again, just reinforcing that. But I am getting ready to start. I want to do a toboggan hat. And I'm not sure if I'm going to crochet or knit it. And I have chosen this Yarn Bee, soft and sleek. It's linen is the color. And I think I'm going to do a hat. And I showed you these before, the red, white, and blue. This is also Yarn Bee and the Yarntopia. And I was doing an Afghan where it was sort of a shell stitch. And I was doing that. And I also had created several of the little granny squares. And Tammy from our stitching group, she's a prolific crocheter and knitter. And she said, oh, you know, that would be pretty if you added that into, stitch that into that Afghan. It would look more like a quilt, like a piece, sort of what a quilt would be. I don't know if the stitches equal out to the number of the granny squares I have, but that got me thinking, if not, I may have to stitch that and do that because I think that would be beautiful. So I'm excited about that. Okay, I have a few more cross stitch. I went ahead and kitted them up with the exception of one. I was waiting for the floss, which is probably in that basket I showed you. And for whatever reason on good, I keep wanting to say Good Friday. I said it in my other video that's been now deleted. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I must have had Blackbird Designs and Picture This Plus on my brain because that's the majority of what I bought. But if they don't have a project bag, put them in a Ziploc, and that's okay. That is okay. This is Stacy Nash Designs Pretty in Pink Pin Keep. And someone else just bought this. I want to say it's Christy from Floss Boss and Cousins. Somebody just showed this. So I've got this one kitted. It looks like a 36 count Confederate gray. And I don't even have these on the ring yet. I have the ring in the bag, but I haven't put them on floss drops. So I have that. And if they need a tag, I just make the tag. But I didn't end up putting them. Like I said, I have the ring in there. I just didn't take the time yet to do that. So I have that one. The next one is by Brenda Gervais, Caroline Amelia Trowell. That one is stunning as well. I like that one. I like that one too. And I am doing this on 32 count eggshell. And I am using the called for colors. And again, I do not have them on my ring yet. I apologize if the microphone is too close or too far away. I promise I will get it. I'll get it down pat. The next one is the Blackbird Designs Strawberry Fields Forever. I'm going to make sure I can get it all in there. Now, the change that I'm going to make to this, I don't care for that fence portion of the gate. I do want to change that. I just think it's really stark in comparison. There and this, I'm not even sure what that is, but I'm going to tone that down, but I don't know what yet. So I am going to do this on 36 count unknown. I don't have the name. It sort of looks like maybe Barb's Brew. And I won't show you the colors because again, I am going to change that, the gate and the fence because I'm not real fond of it. The next one is Blackbird Designs, Linda R. Cohagen. And I'm going to do this one with the called for colors on 32 count wheat. I have that one kitted up. The next one, I do not have kitted. This must have been something I was waiting for the floss, and like I said, I think it's in the basket. It's Agnes Platt's Strawberry Sampler by Blackbird Designs. This is the loose feathers. They're beautiful. So I have this. I have to choose the fabric and then pull the floss for it. This other one, I just watched Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. She finished this. And I want to say she changed the blues. She kept the color scheme the same, but she changed out the blues for, I believe she said Fathom, Deep Sea, and might have been, I don't know if it was what the other one was, can't remember, but it was gorgeous, stunning. So I will rewatch that video to see. And if this is the one, and I'm almost positive it is, I am going to change that as well. This is Blackbird Designs. The Winter is Past. So very pretty. And I think this is what I'm going to do as my New Year's Day start, is this. So I'm hoping to find out what color she used, and hopefully I can get it. If not, I'm going to go with what I have. I picked up some of my favorite needles, which right now is Peacemakers. I picked up a couple of packs of those. My friend Rachel gave me this design from Country Cottage Needleworks, Beach Boardwalk. And then I picked up some fabric. And I've told you before, I love Aida linen, even weave. So I'm good with multiple counts. I just like it all. So this is a 16 count Fog Aida. This is Picture This Plus. Like I said, I was on a Picture This Plus roll. This is a quarter of 28 count Heartland. Picture This Plus. Very pretty. I got a fat quarter of 28 count Picture This Plus Relic. 28, yeah, Lugana. This is Lugana. Got that. I got a 30 count fat quarter of Swiss Cocoa. This is not Picture This Plus, but it's almost the color of this block in my shirt. Got that. I got a Picture This Plus 32 count gingerbread. Very pretty. And I want to say Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher, somebody was doing quite a bit on the gingerbread last year. And I can't remember if it was her or not. Then I picked up a 32 count Lugana. I did a fat half, or a half yard of Heritage. The green, sort of that green tinged fabric. Very pretty. And I got a couple of others, and then I'll have to tell you my story. I got a 16 count Milk and Honey. I got a 16 count Parchment, Aida. That was Aida. And then a 36 count Parchment. So this is linen and this is the Aida. So there is a little bit of a difference. And I remember when I was ordering, this was from 123 Stitch. I had wanted to get, I think it's the Bloom. And I looked and I thought, well, no, I'm not going to get it. I added everything to my cart. I think I was almost already at the checkout and thought, let me go back and get it. I did. So when my order came, I looked and I'm like, I didn't order that. This is not mine. They've sent me the wrong order. And pulled out my invoice, looked, no, it's what I ordered. Didn't intend to order that. I'm like, Beth, have you lost your mind? So when it came, it kind of shocked me because I've never stitched on anything opalescent. And now I know what I did. When I went back, I was already at the point ready to check out. I just wanted to go ahead and get that piece of doubloon. And it is a 32 count. And when I went back to do it, I guess when I clicked on 32 count, I saw the first doubloon, thought, oh, I'll add to cart. Y'all, this is like straight up glitter. Now, what will I stitch on it? I don't know. I know some of you all stitch on um, that opalescent. This is not what I thought I was getting. So, note to self, slow it down because I get myself in a tizzy sometimes. I'm like, I gotta get it. Somebody else isn't gonna get it, you know. Um, and I don't know what I did, but I lost my mind on that one. I don't know again what I had no intent really on any of that. I ordered for something specific from the fabric. I just wanted to have it in my stash. So the other thing I got, and I'm gonna try to wrap it up, is I asked my sweet friend Shelly from Antique Needleworkers what she uses for her knitting needles. And I think this is Chia Goo. I'm not sure if I'm saying that properly. Beautiful little um, bag pouch to store the needles. Um, you got the two interchangeable cables with it and the different size needles. She said this was her favorite. It came also with, it's got a little zipper pocket on the front, and it came with some stitch markers, a stitch gauge, and some um, tightening pins, as well as stoppers for your needles to hold your work on. So I got that. I got, let me see, that's it? That's a lot. I got it. That was it. Now, knitting. I told you I did have to give my joints a break. So I did take some time off and just didn't do anything, but I did catch up on some floss tubes. But I had stitched, this is a crochet, just a little, these are all dishcloths. And the others are knit. I just wanted, again, to reinforce my muscle memory and just continue to build on my skill. This is the garter stitch, just knit every row. This reminded me of candy cane. It's 100% cotton yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is one where it's done on the diagonal and you're adding and then eventually decreasing your stitches. Did that one. This one I haven't wove in the ends. Again, it's just practice. I wanted to practice. So I did that. And then I did a little bit of sewing. So let me show you. And this is what I think that I'm going to do for after the tutorial I load. I want to do this one as a sew with me. So it shouldn't be real long. It still may be an hour, but I want to teach you how to make a cute little crochet case or a knitting. I'll show you the knitting. These little ribbons come on fat quarter bundles. I save them. And that's what it looks like on the inside. A little flap and my crochet needles stored that way. So I may end up doing a tutorial for that. And then you just, you pull it back around and tie it. I did one for my larger knitting needles that aren't interchangeable. Oh, I just untied it. This one came off of a Fat Quarter Shop bundle. there is this one. So really cute. Again, it just folds up and pull the tie around and tie it. So that's what I made, but I think that would make a cute little tutorial. So I may do the sew with me. So I hope you enjoy that and would want to sit and just sew with me. On Ada here, I have got McCall's 6051, and I did this apron. Really quick, cute. I used quilting cotton, regular quilting cotton, and I'll bring her up, raise her up. So I did rickrack here on the top, just a strap. Rickrack, I made the tie long enough that it can go around and come back to the front to tie. I made a cute pocket, added the jumbo rickrack to it, and divided it down the middle. And then the bottom is a cute little ruffle. So I just thought that's darling. So I have her, then my quilt. Oh gosh, sorry, about fell off my stool and the table. This is a Missouri Star Quilt Company. Jenny did, it may be 2 years ago, I can't remember, but she walks through it. None of this is applique, it's all pieced. The stars are the wonky stars, so the legs on the stars aren't the same. They're all different. And it kind of just looks like stars in the sky. I love that, literally like twinkling stars. So that, and then the Christmas tree, the gnomes, and I used for it's just a fur I found at Joann's. I attached it with a little button for these nose, so you could see his nose. And then the gifts are all pieced. So all of this is pieced work. None of it was applique. It was fairly quick to put together. Makes a great wall hanging. I add the sleeves in the corners so that way I can hang it, and I have it hanging in my foyer when you walk in. So I have that. So I hope today something inspired you and that you liked what you saw. Again, if you do, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, and share it. I also want to say 2 more things. If you are in the Locust, North Carolina area and you want a stitchy friend, I will be your stitchy friend. Come and join us. We have a group of us who meet every Monday in the evenings at the Starbucks in Locust, North Carolina from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we meet every Thursday at the Locust Library from 10 to 12. So if you are wanting to stitch with somebody, come and stitch with us. We have, like I said, we have a great group. We have knitters and crocheters, cross stitchers, quilters. We have a wide variety of people who do needlework and embroidery. And so there's always somebody there to help or encourage you, and we all enable each other for sure. The other thing I want to say is a quilt guild. If you're not a member of a quilt guild, won't you think about joining? Quilt guilds, first of all, the good fellowship that you have, they typically do charity work, and just a great way to connect with other quilters. If you are in this area of North Carolina, I would love to invite you to our quilt guild called Three Rivers Quilt Guild. We do have a Facebook page. We meet the 4th Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. And we'd love to have you join us. Again, great group of ladies who meet. And we don't have any men, but more than welcome. Everybody's welcome. But thank you again, you all, for spending time with me today. I appreciate it. I wish you the merriest Christmas and a happy new year. And hopefully I will have another video out before the new year. But just enjoy. I hope you get to spend it with family and friends. And just have, like I said, just have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and I will see you all soon. Bye.